Hello again. So, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to start a new chapter, that is electricity of your class 10. This is your lecture 1. So, this lecture 1 we are going to see only introduction for this chapter electricity. So, first let us know the importance of this electricity in our everyday life. Electricity has an important place in modern society. Why it has that much importance? Because it is a controllable and convenient form of energy for a variety of uses. Yes, we can control this electricity. At the same time, it is so convenient form to use. Where we can use this electricity? Yes, we can use in homes, schools, hospitals, industries, and so on. In different places we can use this electricity, and we have many questions. Those questions will be answered after completion of this chapter. And in this chapter, what you are going to learn? What constitutes electricity? What will be there in electricity? And what is responsible for this electricity you are going to learn? How does it flow in an electric circuit? What are the things needed for the flow of current in a circuit? And what are the factors that control or regulate the current through an electric circuit? I told you this electricity can be controllable. So we can control and we can regulate it. How we can do it? What are the devices we have to control? What are the devices we have to regulate? Everything we can see in this chapter. So without wasting our time, let us jump into the topic. And before learning this electricity, first let us try to learn definition for this electricity. So what is meant by electricity? You see, it's a beautiful definition, that is behavior of charges. So will be there any behavior for charge? Yes, of course. You see, we are living beings, living things. There will be different behavior, different actions will be there for living things. Eating, sleeping, walking, running, jumping, reading, watching. There are different behaviors, different actions for living things. But while coming to these charges, those are non-living things. For non-living things, there will be only two types of behaviors. What are those two types? First one, rest. Second one, motion. Yes, whatever non-living thing you see, there will be only two types of behaviors. Number one, rest. Number two, motion. Now, if charges are at rest, what we have to call? When charges are in motion, what we need to call? You see, we have two types of electricity. First one, static electricity. Second one, current electricity. In 6th, 7th, 8th classes, you have learnt about static electricity by combing your hair with a comb and bringing that comb near to the small pieces of paper. So what happens? Automatically all paper pieces will stick to the comb. That is static electricity. But in your 10th class, there is nothing to read about static electricity. Let us see current electricity in this chapter. So what is meant by current? It is a simple definition. Current is nothing but flow, movement. Water current means water flow. Air current means air flow. Same like that, current electricity. So something will be in motion. What will be in motion? Charges will be in motion. Okay, let us try to understand what are those charges. Here, what are those charges? Before learning those charges, you need to understand an atom. Yes, we need to start from the basics. So I think so. You know what is meant by atom. Atom is the smallest particle and it is a building block of an element. You can see this diagram. So the middle part is known as nucleus. Nucleus contains protons and neutrons, and electrons will be revolving around the nucleus as shown in the diagram, which you have learnt in your 9th class. Now there are subatomic particles in atom. How many subatomic particles are present? 3. You see, this is a Niels Bohr atomic model, isn't it? Middle, you can observe protons and neutrons are present and electrons are revolving in their orbits. And we know there are 3 subatomic particles. Number 1, electron. Number 2, proton. Number 3, neutron. Electrons are negatively charged particles. Protons are positively charged particles. Neutrons are neutrally charged particles. How to represent electron? E minus because of negative charge. Protons P plus. Neutrons just N. Now we need to learn about free electrons. Try to understand the word free electrons. We don't have free protons and free neutrons. Why? So first of all, what is meant by free electron? Any electron that is not attached to an ion, atom or molecule and is free to move under the influence of an applied electric or magnetic field. You know, atom. In atom, there will be electrons, and electrons can be easily removed from an atom, and that electron can be added to an atom. So if electrons are coming out from the atom, those electrons are free electrons. You can see materials. There are 2 types of materials, of course 3, that you will learn in metals and non-metals chapter in chemistry. In physics, we are considering 2 materials. Number 1, conductor. What is meant by conductor? Materials which allow electricity to pass. Examples, all metals are conductors. Second type of material, insulator. What is meant by insulator? Materials which do not allow electricity to pass through it. Examples, all non-metals are insulators. There are some exceptions that we are going to see in chemistry. Fine. And we have third type of material, that is metalloid. We'll see it later. Now, main question, basic question we need to understand, why conductors only allow electricity to pass through it? Why all metals will allow electricity to pass through it? Answer is due to presence of free electrons. So metals are good conductors of electricity. That is the thing we have learned till now. From 6th class onwards, we have learned that metals are good conductors. But question, why? Why metals are good conductors? Due to presence of free electrons. You see this? Those red color particles which are static, which are stable, which are not moving, known as atom, or simply to say ion, or you can consider it as proton, nucleus, it's your wish. We are considering those red color particles as protons and those blue color particles which are in random motion, known as free electrons. Why we are calling it as free electron? You see the movement, it is moving towards right hand side, moving towards left, it is moving upwards, coming downwards. It is in random motion, isn't it? And it is so free to move, so it is known as free electron. And you see, that is a small piece from a conductor. In a conductor, all atoms and all protons are static, which will not move. But while coming to electrons, all electrons are free. Not all electrons, of course. Few electrons are free. So electrons which are free are known as free electrons. And remaining electrons will be bounded, isn't it? It will be revolving in their respective orbits, that will not come out from the orbit. Clear? So electrons which are free, which are not bonded, are known as free electrons. Which will not be present in an orbit is a free electron. It will be moving in a conductor. Due to movement of free electrons, current passes through a conductor. Clear? So this is conductor, and electrons are in motion. That is known as current electricity. Current means motion. What is in motion? Electron is in motion, right? Next, we need to understand about cell. In this video, we are going to see only basics, not more than that. Cell. What is meant by cell? A cell is a single electrical energy source which uses chemical reaction to produce a current. In simple words, we can say cell is a device which converts chemical energy to electrical energy. This is a small representation of cell. You can see positive terminal and negative terminal. Positive terminal, which is a carbon rod, and you can find graphite rod, cathode. You can use graphite rod or you can use carbon rod as a cathode, and that is not cathode. Positive is an anode, so diagram is wrong. And there is a mixture, magnesium oxide and carbon mixture, and there is a paste, that is NH4Cl and ZnCl. NH4Cl, ammonium chloride, ZnCl, zinc chloride, which acts as electrolyte. In 8th class you have learnt three words. What are those? Cathode, anode and electrolyte. Clear? Now, battery. So what is the difference between cell and battery? Battery is combination of two or more cells. Cell in the sense it is single, it is only one. But battery, if there are two or more cells, we need to call it as battery. So can you see this diagram, this picture? Yes, this is battery, isn't it? Sir, you told me battery is nothing but two or more cells, but this is only one positive terminal I can see, one negative terminal I can see. How can we say this is a battery? You see, if you remove everything and internally what will be present, this is the original picture of that one. You can see there are six cells together makes a battery. So now did you get what is the difference between cell and battery? Cell in the sense there will be only one, battery two or more. Now this is a battery. Clear? Next, circuit. What is a circuit? Regarding this definition of circuit, we will see in next video. Before that, there are two types of circuits. Do you know what are they? Yeah, those are closed circuit and open circuit. What is closed circuit? There will be perfect connection and everything is closed, switch is closed, key is closed, and bulb glows. While coming to open circuit, key is open, switch is open, where electricity cannot be passed. Clear? So closed circuit, total electricity passes. In open circuit, electricity doesn't pass. Next, why electricity passes only in closed circuit? So that is a doubt we need to get. You see, in closed circuit bulb is glowing, but in open circuit bulb is not glowing. Why? Why? Because there are two main reasons. Number one, battery. Due to presence of battery, and second one, conductor. So of course bulb we have fixed it, and after taking the bulb, we need to connect two terminals of bulb to conductors, and those two conductors should be connected to battery such that electricity passes. And you may get doubt, we have key, switch, everything, right? So it is optional. You can connect key, you can leave switches, so no problem with that. Clear? There are two main things needed in a circuit. Those are battery and conductor. Next, how does cell work? That is a main important thing you must understand in this video. You see, there is a small cell which is connected to a bulb, and you can see some negatively charged particles are coming out of the cell and moving through the conductor and reaching to the bulb, and the bulb is glowing now, isn't it? So how electrons will come out, from which terminal electrons will come, from which terminal electrons will move, everything we need to understand. Try to observe this diagram. This is schematic representation of cell, and cell has some positive terminal and negative terminal. Okay, I'll try to explain by using annotation. You see, this is positive terminal, and positive terminal is inside this entire carbon rod or graphite rod, you can use it, which is inside. And after this carbon rod, graphite rod, we have this white color part. This is magnesium oxide and combination of carbon. So it is a combination of carbon paste, carbon powder, and manganese oxide. Sorry, it is not magnesium, it is manganese oxide. And after that, we have a paste, that is paste of ammonium chloride, and we have some muslin bag. So this is a protective layer. After that, last layer is a zinc container. Now entire this zinc container and this part acts as negative terminal. One thing you need to understand, there is no internal connection between positive and negative. Once again, I am stressing that point. There is no internal connection between positive and negative terminal. So why I am saying this? Let us see. You see, there are n number of free electrons produced at negative terminal. So there are n number of free electrons produced at negative terminal. Many free electrons will be present. And while coming to one small concept in magnetism, magnet has two poles, isn't it? North pole, south pole. And we have learned magnetism, in which attraction repulsion we have learned. So once again I am revising that north pole, if you keep it, it will repel. Why? Like poles will repel. Unlike poles, unlike poles will attract, isn't it? Means north pole, south pole will attract. south pole, north pole will attract. So by this what we can learn? Unlike poles, unlike charges will attract. While coming to here, we have two types of charges: positive charge, negative charge. Positive and negative charges, what will happen? It will attract each other, isn't it? Now, here there are n number of electrons. What is the charge of electron? It is negative. So for all electrons, charge is negative, isn't it? Now, what this negative electron will do? Always negative electron, always this electron tries to attach to a positive terminal. But I told you, internally there is no connection you can observe here. Internally there is no connection between positive and negative. Hence, these electrons cannot go and touch this positive terminal directly. That will not happen. If that happens, what will happen in the sense? Entire battery becomes null. I mean, charges will be zero. So that only there will be no internal connection. All these electrons will be trying to touch positive terminal. Because of not having internal connection, these electrons cannot go untouched. Then what will happen? You see, this is a cell. I told you there will be two terminals for a cell: negative terminal and positive terminal. Near the negative terminal, what will happen? N number of electrons will generate because of chemical energy. We are using some chemicals inside the cell, isn't it? Because of presence of chemicals, free electrons are produced, charges are produced, and charges what are produced near the negative terminal always will be trying to touch the positive, but internally there is no connection. So it will search for a shortcut. It will search for a shortcut. Now you see, this negative terminal and positive terminal is attached with a conductor. Let us assume like this. Now what happens? All these electrons will come out. It will come out. It will move through this conductor. All free electrons will move through this conductor, and automatically this conductor is attached to what terminal? Positive terminal. So all electrons will come like this. It will move in this conductor and it will reach to positive terminal. Meanwhile, if you attach any bulb, so all electrons will be moving in this conductor. All free electrons will be in motion, and those free electrons will enter into the bulb, and some electrons will be utilized by this bulb. Bulb glows and remaining electrons will move and reaches to positive terminal. Clear? So like this cell works. So what we have to learn with the concept, whenever you wanna see electricity, two things are necessary. Number one, conductor. You see, there is a conductor. Because of presence of conductor, free electrons are in motion. Number two, from where free electrons we are getting? From where charges we are getting? From where force we are getting? Force we are getting from this cell. So it is a very simple diagram. This switch, if you want, you can use it, or else you can leave it. We have only three components in this diagram. Number one, cell. Number two, conductor. Number three, bulb. So cell is energy producer, conductor is energy carrier, bulb is energy absorber or energy utilizer. So cell is producing electrons, conductor is carrying those electrons, bulb is absorbing those electrons. This is how electric circuit works. So in our next lecture, we'll see what is meant by electric current. If you like this video and if you like this explanation, you can like, share, subscribe, comment, and wait for next lecture such that we can complete all these concepts and entire chapter within 10 to 12 videos, and try to listen to all concepts. While you are listening, please copy everything in your notes, and this PDF you will get in description. So there will be link provided in description. You can click on that link, you can get this PDF. And thank you. See you again.